Okay, everybody, let's do this. Chapter 4, Reproduction. I'm gonna get into section C lah, the writing one, long one. Well, I had to first mention this. Chapter 4 is a very long chapter. To finish everything is impossible. So I try to pick important questions and we try to cover as much lah. So, a little bit of recap for you. Form 1, Chapter 4, long time ago. Okay, Form 1, Chapter 4. The very beginning of Chapter 4, we talk about sexual and asexual lah. At the meantime, right, it helps you to recap a bit. Then you want to do the reading on your own before your exam or like later on. So sexual and asexual. So sexual means two parent cell. Asexual means single parent cell. Those are for like lower class animals and plants like microorganisms. Then sexual, we have something called the fertilization, internal and external. So usually external means animals that stays in water lah. Animal that stays in water, the sperm and ovum combines outside of the female body. Basically means in water. External, in water. Internal means on land. Anything that stays on land. Okay, nice, cool. Then we have examples of asexual, quite a lot though, including vegetative. Okay, you want to go through this and memorize some of the examples. Okay, then we have the human part, ladies and gentlemen. Function, oh, very annoying, there's a lot to memorize. Male and female both. Labelings and function. So I think the first question is about that lah. We try and figure out. So please turn to your page 18. So this is about reproductive cells. So sperm and ovum. Okay, so obviously this is sperm and this is ovum. Okay, so question number 1. State 2 characteristics of cell P, means characteristics of sperm. Let's check this out. Characteristics of sperm. Boom. That's quite a lot though. Like, this box is all the characteristics. I think not everything can write. Mobility can, size okay, shape okay, lifespan okay, function not okay. That's not the characteristics, right? Because function is function. This not okay. Feature, I think okay. So let's just use something simple, like for example, able to move, 1 mark. Smaller cell in the body, 1 mark. You choose 2 because I think question is 2 marks. Okay, boom. Like, I'm gonna stay here for you to choose whichever you like. Okay, I wait for a while for you. So just write down as straightforward, like no sentences. I don't need like explain one. Straight away, full stop, then the next one. Okay, what did I wrote though? Boom. Yeah, okay. You can follow exactly the just now. Doesn't matter because you know everyone a little bit different in writing sentences or English. So, like next question. Cell Q is larger than cell P. State the reason. Okay, cell Q, ovum is larger. Yes, in fact, ovum is the largest cell in human body. Okay, but why is it so big though? Actually, ovum are meant to stay there and wait for the sperm, right? And therefore, ovum has all the food, all the nutrients for a baby to start growing, you know? It's like the egg yolk like that. Egg yolk consists of a lot of nutrients for the new offspring. So therefore, ovum is big because it consists of food for the new offspring. So this is how we explain. I would say this is a little bit out from what your textbook has to teach you. Okay, so cell Q has food substances. That's why it's big. Sperm doesn't have. Sperm only have the enough of energy just to swim and find the ovum. That's it. Okay, but the rest of the story depends on the ovum. The ovum have to supply food. The ovum have to start growing with the sperm into a zygote and into embryo. Okay. Okay, like male reproductive system. Since we're here, let's label let's label the 3 that is mentioned. All good, right? You're done with the above. Boom. This is obviously testis, and then this is sperm duct. what else? Isn't it the sperm duct? Yeah, from testes all the way out, that's called sperm duct. And then we have Y. Y is the tube for shishi. Yeah, you remember the spelling? Like, yep. Okay, so it's called the urethra. Okay, urethra, where sperm or urine comes out. Okay, so we're gonna call that as urethra. Like, okay. Okay, so anyway, name the part that produces pee. Oh, pee is what? Pee is sperm, right? Or which part produces sperm? Okay, very simple. So it's called testes. So either, I think it's better you write the X, the part X, rather than spelling testes, unless, okay lah, I don't think we will spell wrongly also lah. But make sure if you want to write testes, right, don't do careless mistake. Okay, make sure you spell everything correct. Anyway, I will choose to write part X. Okay, like next one. In exam also they could ask like function. So, well, I would say usually exam won't ask like all function, maybe one or two. But the thing is, I don't know which one is coming out, or maybe not coming out. How? I have to read through lor. So functions they do ask like maybe one or two. Okay, so just read through it lah. Okay, let's go to number 2. Okay, so explain why men are advised to wear loose trousers to protect the organ. Oh la la. Okay, I would say this question is a little bit out of what you need to learn from a textbook, but it's good to know why you shouldn't wear tight underwears or like tight pants. Okay, first thing first, the testes and the scrotum is actually outside of human body, right? It's not like inside. Female is inside, but male is like outside or dangling outside. Okay, but the reason to it is because it has to be slightly lower temperature. Your sperm cannot survive at higher temperature. So your body is 37 so testes and the scrotum is probably about 36, like 1 Celsius lower. Actually, that's the temperature where sperm likes to survive. Okay, now if you wear too tight, basically means you are like how should I say, suffocating. No, you're actually joking guys, you're actually like giving more heat. So probably not too healthy in long term. I'm not saying that your sperm die instantly, but I'm saying in long term maybe not so good for the growth of sperm. So 2 marks though. First, we should say sperm actually don't like to stay in higher temperature. Second mark, we will say, well, loose trousers will help to like lower the temperature a bit lah. Okay, there you go. Okay, like this one a bit lebe lah, like you might not need to remember this because a bit extra lah. Yeah, it's okay, so we'll learn it from here. Right, question C. A married man has many children. Doctor advised him to undergo family planning. Suggest one suitable method of contraception. Okay, this is about contraception. Contraception, explain. Okay, there's so many ways of contraception. So by the way, contraception means birth control. Like, enough liao, I don't want baby liao. Okay, I don't want to have children for the rest of the life, for example. That's called contraception. Okay, so I think the clue is here though. A married man has many children. Basically, it's telling you that, okay, no more, that's it for the rest of the life. Okay, doctor advised family planning. So I'm thinking question is telling you to choose a permanent method. Okay, permanent method, like forever method. Okay, so let me show you contraceptive method. It's here. Contraception, boom. Okay, like what do you think? The method that probably is permanent and you don't have to worry about having children or not anymore. Yes, correct, and you still want to undergo like sexual intercourse, like copulation. Okay, but you don't want to have children. Okay, so quite obvious everybody. So that will be vasectomy. That's to like cut off the sperm duct and tie them together. Okay, yeah. Then there you go. So 2 marks. First mark goes to the method. Second mark goes to explain. So explain, right, we will copy exactly from textbook. Okay, so first mark comes to this vasectomy. Second mark goes to tie the we can actually use the exact same answer. Okay, so boom, everybody, vasectomy, first mark. You must mention the method first. Method. You cannot just say cut the sperm duct as the method though. You must say vasectomy. And then explain, cut liao, tie and prevent sperm from transporting to the urethra. Boom, like, there you go. Okay, let's go to question 9, page 19. So same goes to female. You want to read through a question, could probably ask the function and so on. Okay, so menstruation, that's another thing to memorize. Boom. Okay, menstruation, hair. Okay, like, so 4 phases, everybody, you want to try to memorize now also. First one will be menstrual phase, where everything being flushed down, and then followed by repair phase. Repair phase is to repair obviously the thinnest wall that you have, and then followed by fertile phase. Fertile phase is where ovum is produced, followed by premenstrual phase, which is the whole cycle will restart again when the ovum is not fertilized. Okay, so I think first question is asking for let's do definition first. Menstruation, meaning, okay, boom, everybody, sentence number 1, the whole thing. Can you do that? Menstruation is the breakdown of lining of the uterine wall and discharge of blood through the vagina. So the 2 main point here is breakdown of uterine wall. Second point, discharge of blood. Okay, no problem. That's exactly the sentence, the definition from textbook. Okay, then we need to write down the steps. I guess the next one is to write down the steps. Okay, boom. Yeah. Okay, name L and M. Whoa, I think it's better we arrange it first, because I feel like it's not in the correct arrangement, so then that's gonna mix up our sequence. So the first one is releasing ovum. I don't think so, right? Okay, so I think we want to like go through the sequence first. So the first will be breaking down of the lining. So I think where the picture shows you things are flushing out. So I think K is your step number 1. Okay, after breaking down goes to number 2. Number 2 has to be the thinnest wall, and things starts to repair. Yeah, look at the picture like that. Okay, so that would be M, the second one. Okay, then the third one has to be fertile phase. Fertile phase is where ovum is released, quite obvious. And the fourth one is the thickest wall, and the cycle repeat again. Okay, so now we have the sequence liao, so then it's easier and more accurate to write down the answer. Okay, like what is L? L is the fourth one. Fourth one, it's called the premenstrual phase. The fourth one, premenstrual phase. Boom, there you go. Okay, then M is the second one. Second one has to be like after discharge will be repair, right? Okay, yeah, I have to remember the name. That's 2 and 4. 1 and 3 are not asked, then let's also write down since we're here. So number 1 is called menstrual phase. Number 3, J is fertile. Okay, there you go. Fertile phase. Okay, then number 2 and number 4 is here . Okay, okay, C, we already had the arrangement. You just have to write in correct sequence. Arrange the phases. So we start with K, M, J, L. Just comma, or you want to do arrow also can. Okay. Like, hey, you can't run away from this kind of question. Asking for what happened in one of the phase. Okay, The thing is, we don't know question asks what phase sometimes, so you have to like remember it. By the way, J is fertile. What happened? Actually, your clue is here though. 1 mark, 3 mark. But because question is 2 marks, so you need like another thing. Let's just refer from textbook again, from here. So what happened? Oh, ovum is released. Ding! 1 mark. 2nd mark. The uterine lining continue to thicken. Ding! 3rd mark, extra. If you want to choose this also can. If sperm is present, fertilization can occur. That means if sperm swims in and find the ovum at this phase, then there will be a baby. Fertilization. Okay? So, up to you. There's actually 3 points for you to choose. But the first is definitely talking about ovum coming up. Ovum is released. 1 mark. Okay? And then I go for the fertilization. Okay. So like it's up to you. You want to follow exactly the textbook one also can, or you want to do my version also can. Okay, Loy, we shall get to E. Okay, let's get to question E, everybody. What happened if, I almost read the wrong thing because that's a very big difference. What happened if ovum is not successfully fertilized versus what happened to ovum if it's not successfully fertilized, because that's a different answer. Okay. So the question is, what happened if ovum is not successfully fertilized? Basically means the last phase. The last phase, which is premenstrual phase. So what happened, not what happened to the ovum, is what happened at the last stage. So if ovum is not fertilized, basically the whole cycle will restart again, like the uterine wall will break down and you restart the whole cycle. Okay, then the unfertilized ovum will discharge. So basically you can kind of use this answer, or you could just combine them together. Then it sounds like that. Because this 1 mark, I don't have to write too long lah. So uterine wall will break down and menstrual cycle repeat again. That means not successfully or fertilization now. Okay, there you go. Okay, well, of course, we can't stay here forever. I think I'm gonna move on to another half of the chapter, which are the plants, you know, the flowering, non-flowering stuff. Okay, I think we shall try on some like plants. Since we're here, let's label all of them, although question wants us to like label only 2. What flower is this? There's 2 types of flower. There's unisexual and there is bisexual. Where is it? Okay, there you go. Male and female together, that is called bisexual. 2 together. If it's male and female separated, that's like different flower, that will be unisexual. So make sure you understand there's 2 types of category. So this is obviously 2 together lah, because the male and the female in 1 flower. That's called bisexual. Okay, let's label everything since we're here. So boom, ready? That's the anther. Okay, then below it's called the filament. Alright, both together it's called the stamen, which is the male part. Okay, so you want to remember the names as well lah. S-A-F, Seth, whatever. That helps you to memorize S-A-F. That's the male part. All these, that's the male part. Okay, shall we go to the female? Female, all good. Let's label on the left side. Female is the everything at the center, female part of the flower. Okay, so like the top part. So female is very simple. Just remember S-S-O-O, S-S-O-O. So the top part, it's called the stigma. The middle part, it's called the style. So S-S and then O-O. Okay, ovary. The whole bottom part here, it's called the ovary. Ovary. And then the 6-pack inside the flower, looks like 6-pack, right? That is ovule. Okay, that's the female part. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. So the whole female part, it's called the pistil. Female. Yep. So stamen for the male, pistil for the male. Of course, you don't have to label everything in exam. Question only asks you to label these two, but you know, since we're here, let's just label everything. There's another two more lobe one lah. It's not under the reproductive organs, but petals. And the bottom part called the sepal. Okay, sepal. Okay, 来 jom. Consider done lah, consider done. This one done lah. Okay, 来 function enter for what though? Enter is where you produce pollen grain, or the powder or the pollen grain comes up from the enter. So produce pollen grain lah. Bam, there you go. Produce pollen grain. Okay, filament. Filament is actually to support the enter, because enter is above, right? So filament is like the tiang to support lah. So hold and support the enter. There you go. The labeling you all done. I move up already. Okay, jom. I move up. Turn. Boom. Okay. Loy, next one. Which part of the flower grows into fruit? That's the question, and draw two lines to match. Oh, okay. You remember, right? Fruits come from flower. Fruits is actually the pregnant part of the ovary. So when the flower is pregnant, the ovary become bigger, and then ta-da! That's the fruit, the apple, for instance. Okay, then everything above, like the male part, the filament and the anther and the petal, everything falls off. It is used to be here though. It is used to be here. But now, because it's a fruit, everything above the flower dries up and it falls off. So sometimes when you buy fruits, I don't know, like banana lah, papaya lah, apple or whatever lah, the bottom part here is actually like dry up. You realize, and this is actually the stem. So the fruit become heavy, so the whole fruit will go the other way around, dangling. But initially it was like that, and then go down. Okay. Anyway, question wants you to label the parts that grows into the fruit. So the fruit itself is actually the ovary. So the fruit that we makan is the ovary part. Okay. And remember the 6-pack inside the ovule, that belongs to the seed. So that turns into seed. So you follow your teacher instruction. Some teacher want you all to draw lines with pen, no pencil, like strictly no pen. Draw with pencil, no pen. Okay, so then you follow your teacher. Some teacher okay with drawing with pen. So you'll follow what your teacher wants, okay? So if you or your teacher wants you to draw with pencil, please make sure you draw with pencil. For lines, for lines, okay? Noise, all good? Can okay, next question. Right, so fertilization process. Had to memorize also. Fertilization process is this one from your textbook though, this one. Okay. Long story short, the pollen grain drops onto or falls onto the stigma. Okay. Then it grows a pollen tube. So the pollen tube will grow down towards the ovary and send two male gametes to fertilize. Okay, so that's like the whole sequence lah. So I think it is really, it's a 3 marks, I bet so. Okay, so you have to explain the whole process. So actually your textbook has the best answer already, 1, 2, 3. Okay lah, but I've prepared for you lah. So imagine next time you don't memorize the whole thing, try to use the important keywords instead, because there's so many things to memorize, so try to like go for important keywords. So some of the keywords are given though. Given, free, you can kind of elaborate from here. The pollen fall onto the stigma and grows a pollen tube. Set the first picture. Okay, we follow picture lah. So actually there's clue. It's not like helpless. You follow the clue lah. Second thing, there is male gametes going towards or growing down towards the ovary to find or to fertilize the ovule. Okay, then third one, you say like the male gametes fertilizes the female gametes to form a zygote. So sometimes, although question is 3 marks, but your teacher try to help you a bit, so you can kind of make sentence out of it. But again, everybody, I'm pretty sure your way of English and my way of English is different. Okay, the more you rely on my answers, the more difficult you feel in exam. Okay, so anyway, sample answers. You want to have your own method also can. So see if we follow the picture. First one is pollen fall onto the stigma. Oh, okay, and then pollen tube. Oh, okay. First picture memang like that. Second one, male gametes travel down. Okay. Follow the picture. Third one, male combine with female. Okay. Okay, there you go. I focus on this one. Okay, so I'm going to move down. Okay, Joe, let's get to question D. Okay. Wow, a lot of 3 marks. GG. But these are real exam question though. Not for fun. Not like to do for fun or to scare you, but these are real question in exams. So, Encik Raza planted 2 durian trees from different breed. 3P, thick flesh but less sweet. 3Q, thin flesh but sweet. That means both species or both types have their advantage. So Encik Raza wants to ensure P produces fruits. Okay, I want P to produce thick flesh and sweet. That means I want the characteristics of P, but I also want the characteristics of Q. Explain what he should do for 3 marks. Okay, first thing first, guys. Do you all know what is the question asking for? They're asking for pollination, but you know there's 2 types of pollination, right? Okay, let's just draw a durian tree. Is that how you draw a durian tree? Okay, durian tree. Okay, this is durian tree P, this is durian tree Q. Okay, now let me repeat the question to you. Encik Raza wants 3P to have the characteristics. In other words, Encik Raza wants 3P to get pregnant, to have fruits. That means I want Q to come over. Does that make sense to you? Because you want both, you want both characteristics, so you have to make sure you do cross-pollination. So cross-pollination is your main point. That's the first point. But cross of what? Cross of Q and P. But I want to make sure Q come over. I don't want P self-pollinate P, P self-pollinate P. So I don't want that to happen. So to make this whole situation come together, I have to cut off the enter of 3P so that the whole 3P becomes a female tree. How to get pregnant as a female tree? The only way is to wait for Q to come over, maybe by the bees or whatever. You all get the idea? Because the condition here is I want P to be the tree to bear fruits with both advantage or characteristics. Okay? Okay, so yeah, so I think the only way is we want P to cut off with the enter lah, so Q can come over. Okay, so 3 marks. First, we have to talk about what do you want to do here. It's called the cross-pollination. So boom, you want to cut the filament of P. You don't want self, you want cross-pollination. No self, I don't want PP, QQ, I don't want self-pollination. Okay, that's your first point. All right. Second point, we want to ensure only cross-pollination happens from, you see, this is the condition, from 3Q to 3P. There you go. That happens in 3P. This kind of question, honestly speaking, by reading your textbook or by reading notes, right, you cannot do one. You have to try before. You have to like, oh, like that one, got such thing, oh, how to answer like that one, then only you can answer the question. So K-Buck question memang like that though. You have to try before. Okay, like 13 for you lor, sort of another extra question. So like let's jump to 14. Okay, bam. Okay, like pollination. Okay, what is pollination? So definition of pollination, very simple. Is the transference of pollen grain from anther to stigma. So boom, that's the whole sentence. Okay, and there's two types of pollination. It's either self-pollination or cross-pollination. Okay, so like definition of pollination, and then asking for the types of pollination, we have self and cross-pollination. Two types. Self means in the same tree lah, different flower but in the same tree. Okay, yeah. But cross-pollination has to be a different tree or different plant, which is the durian just now that I mentioned. Okay, now next. Yeah. Okay, so pollinating agent, you all remember what's pollinating agent? Pollinating agent is the third party or the agent that helps to transfer the pollen grain, because tree cannot move, plants cannot move. They have to rely on animals, they have to rely on insects, they have to rely on wind, the nature, to pass on, to carry the pollen grain, right? So but generally we split into two types now. We split into animal and insects pollinated flower and wind pollinated flower. There's two types of flower, and from your textbook we have also the comparison between that two types. So general rule, everybody, if you want to attract the bees, you have to look pretty, you have to smell good, you have to have nectar. If you're wind pollinated, the general rule is very simple. Just be light and can fly. And you don't have to be colorful, don't have to be smelling good and not, because wind doesn't choose that way, right? Okay, so like question is, how does butterfly help in pollination? Okay, that means the step of pollination is actually here. So be it the bee, be it the butterfly, whatever, when they suck the nectar from the flower, because they collect the nectar from the bottom, right? Then the pollen grain will stick to their body. So I think that's the main point you want to remember. Pollen grain stick to the body. And then they fly to another flower and they try to suck the nectar, and hopefully one or two pollen grain gets to fall onto the stigma of another plant. Just one. I just need one. I know it's very less likely, but I just need one, you know. So many on the body, I don't believe there's no any pollen grain that will fall onto it, right? So there you go. Let's simplify this, because this is supposed to be two points, but because it's 1 mark, let's just simplify the whole thing. We will just say, when they collect nectar, stick to the body and transfer to another flower. Okay? Nice. Okay, no problem. Like, in the meantime, one characteristics of flower pollinated by animal. Okay, if you want to attract animals like birds or bees or insects, you have to look good, you have to smell good, right? So any characteristics, we have a few from here. We have like big and colorful flower, have nectarine and smell nice. Up to you. So what did I choose? Okay, I choose the smell nice. Okay, let's continue with C. Yeah, 6.2 shows some Masmadu combs of corn. Oh, wait, sounds familiar though. Oh my god, it's actually from your textbook. Masmadu is the combination, it's a cross pollination or cross breeding between corn from Taiwan and corn from Mexico. Okay, then you get sweeter, bigger fruits, higher resistance towards diseases and drought. Drought means like no water lah, so they can survive like during dry season. Okay. Anyway, question is, Masmadu is one of the hybrid plants produced through cross-pollination. There you go, cross-pollination between two types. They are sold at high prices. Okay. Give your opinion about high prices. Oh, 3 marks, guys. Okay, first things first, this is not the original species. This is actually cross between two types. Why it is sold at high prices? Because of the special characteristics. Because you have like best of all the jargon like characteristics. So I think 3 marks, right? We split it into 3 points. First, we will say like, why high price? Because this type of jargon, right, gives you a higher value. They have better value in it. So boom, that'll be first mark. I'm going to say about it has higher value. Second mark, I'm going to talk about the characteristics. So why is it selling more expensive? Because of all this. So just throw this thing in and there'll be a second and third mark. So obviously I split it up. Sweeter, bigger, boing, second mark. Resist towards disease, boing, third mark. Okay, cool. Okay, like question D. Diagram 6.3 shows 2 types of plants which grows in Malaysia. Oh, okay. So this is, I think, what, lalang or grass lah. Then this must be sunflower. Okay. I think question is asking for differences. Both of plants are pollinated by different agent. Oh, sunflower is a big flower. This must be pollinated by animal. Lalang or like grass, they have like smaller flowers, not attractive, no color, so they are wind pollinated. Okay, compare and contrast the characteristics of flower. Oh, okay. 1 similarity and 1 differences. What's the similarity? No matter you blow by wind or insects carry the pollen, there is 1 similarity. No matter wind or no matter animal, you have pollen grains. Or you produce flower at least. Doesn't matter your flower is colorful or not colorful. The similarity is you have flower or you have pollen grain. Okay? Differences, many though. I think we're quite familiar with it. Like for example, colorful and big petal. Wow, the other one is white and pale. Smell nice, no smell. Okay, so quite a lot to choose from. Yeah, okay, so like differences. Bam. Flower from plant X, which is this one, is white or pale. So wind doesn't choose color, wind just carry everything away. While plant Y have big and colorful petal. Okay, nice. There you go. Alrighty. Okay, we're pretty much done for chapter 4 express revision. So I'll see you guys. Peace. Bye.